Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. So, just, you know me, I want to talk about Ben Simmons and the situation that's going on there because it's one of the most important things in the NBA. And it speaks to some things that I kind of can kind of parallel to some things that I've gone through and been through and all that. So I kind of identify in my own way with how I perceive the story to be. I really do think that Ben Simmons is, if he's going back to Philadelphia, you know what I mean, right now, I think he's being forced to. I do. Or coerced to, manipulated to kind of do this, guilt tripped. People are putting a lot of pressure on him to do something that he doesn't want to do for others. That's what I think is happening. Clutch is saying, yo, you're putting us in a tight space with Philadelphia because we want to be able to do business with them. We already have a strained relationship with them. You're making it worse. I think obviously the fan influence and media influence. I think just the overall money pressure, that is pressure in and of itself. That's a stress. You know what I mean? When somebody says, yo, we're going to take money from you for wanting out of this situation, it's just a lot, man. And I think about how I would feel if I really truly wanted to leave a place really, really badly, but all of the different variables around make it so that it's not going to help others or help myself in the long run to be there. And then I walked away from that situation and I felt the consequences of what happens when you do that. And I just say to you guys that I don't regret it. I don't regret leaving. The consequences that came down from walking away from a toxic situation was harsh. And the way that I did it wasn't beneficial for my future. But when you're in that, whatever it is, you don't care about all that. You just want out. You just want to see yourself somewhere else where you can be and enjoy and not experience what you just did. That's what it's about. It's not about anything else other than just getting out of that situation. And it costs it means everything to you, so you're willing to spend everything to do it. But once it starts being too many different pressures from too many different angles, because I didn't have that. I didn't have pressure from home. Hey, you got to keep your job. I didn't have people say, yo, you're going to hurt our situation. There was nobody communicating with me when it was time for me to make the decision. So I just made it. Ben Simmons got the whole world trying to communicate with him when he's trying to make this decision. And now that he's going back, it's like, I know he don't want to be there. He don't want to be there no more than he always did. He may have allowed someone to talk him into going there to cut the losses and stop the bleeding, but he don't want to be there. It's a toxic environment. And I have been on the record saying I want Philly to honor that truth within that person. Not because you like the player. You don't like the player as your enemy right now, but show me as a player of the future that you care about my mental health enough to just let me go, bro. Yeah, I know I signed a contract. I did. I know I'm a very great player that can help you win. I am. But I'm not happy here. I'm not happy here. Now, I don't want to project to say that he's feeling what I would feel and the extremes that I would feel when I want to get out. That's not necessarily the thing. But what I'm saying is he is taking it somewhere extreme because he was willing to risk what he did. It's toxic to him, to whatever his level is. I don't blame him for wanting out of that. And I feel bad for him that he has to go back there for whatever reason, unless, of course, he just ultimately wants to go back. As to which I support it if he wants to. You know what I mean? If he's coming to the conclusion, like, yo, I was tripping. I was just tripping, yo. I see all that I need to see, and let's get back out here. If he came to that conclusion, praise God. Good. This is good. Now, I don't know if he should be going back there, but for himself to come to that conclusion is very healthy. So I support that if that's what he's done here, but I don't think that's what happened here. I don't think that. I don't think he just came around and said, yo, I really do love Philly. Let me go back there. I don't think that. I think pressure is forcing this kid to go back there. I think money, I think people who are older than him, who have more understanding than him, are using that against him in some cases, maybe. When his concerns are very simple. When his demands or his desires for himself are just very simple. And I know, we all only have but the time that we have to be alive, and athletes only have but the time they have to be athletes. So he doesn't want to throw a year away just because this or that. He doesn't necessarily want to throw away a prime basketball year. He doesn't. He doesn't. So I get that. When I was doing what I was doing, I wasn't doing what I love to do. If anything, I hated doing what I love to do. So that's not a parallel for me. Basketball is his passion. He just doesn't like where he's playing. At some point in time, do you want to take away your entire passion just because you don't like the court? I don't know. I don't know if I'd feel that way. So maybe he did change his mind, but I don't think so. I don't think so. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I still think there are a lot of different things that can happen here. I still think that, as I said last night in my video, that maybe he sees an opportunity to maybe find himself in Brooklyn, so it would be wise for him to play to raise his trade value, because it's different when you think you're going to Sacramento. I don't have to raise my trade value. Sacramento can pick me up if they want me. If they don't, they don't. But when you're talking about going to the Nets, playing with KD and James Harden, yeah, you better show them something. You know what I mean? That's something you actually put forth effort to try to make happen for yourself. So it becomes a different goal, in my opinion. So I think that's a scenario that makes sense to me. But I heard a wild trade rumor this morning. It had about 5 different teams, bunch of different picks, bunch of different players going to a bunch of different places. I didn't write all that down, but I can tell you that it looks so funny to me. And I was reading the comments. The trade rumors that are out there, they're being placed out there. If you see a trade rumor that has Dame Lillard and Bradley Beal going to Philadelphia, and they had De'Aaron Fox, I think it was like, 3 players each, 2 picks each, I guess is what it was. But the players are like De'Aaron Fox moving around, Harrison Barnes moving around, Bradley, of course, gone. They had Ty Maxey going somewhere. Like, they had a bunch of stuff moving around. But at the end of the day, it really left for basically Portland giving up Dame and CJ, bringing back Ben Simmons and 2 other guys that weren't up to par. I think it was Seth Curry and like something else. No. Portland's aspect of that funny trade actually made sense because I know the cap situation. Getting Dame and CJ off of their team, bringing back Ben and then 2 pieces that they could probably get rid of easily is a good decision for their cap, but it's terrible for their fan base. It's terrible for the legacy of Dame Lillard leaving Portland that way. CJ too. Like, the only thing that helps is their books. I don't think Portland wants to do that. If Portland wanted to do that, they probably would have already done that. So I don't see them doing something like that. Plus, you want to build around Ben Simmons to start if you're Portland? Nah, probably not if I'm Portland. Not if I'm in the Dame Lillard era. No, why am I giving up the Dame Lillard era to start the Ben Simmons era? No. Ben isn't young enough for me to scrap Dame and start over with him, in my opinion. I wouldn't do that. So, the trade rumors I've seen, I don't believe. I think, as I've always said, the best possible scenario for Philadelphia is to just find a trade partner that ain't going to ask them to attach assets to Ben Simmons. I've surmised that is the best strategy for Daryl Morey, rather than hoping that somebody gets upset with a player. Maybe you get lucky and get Kyrie on the block, but I think you're gonna have to pay for Kyrie. You're not gonna get him straight up for Ben Simmons. You're gonna have to throw in a lot of assets. If you're willing to do that, then cool, But in my mind, you should never be willing to do that because I think you can get rid of Ben Simmons without doing that. So it should be in that you're a team that's well over the cap and have a whole top 3 player to consider in the NBA and Joel Embiid. I would say it would be very wise to try to make sure you bring back every asset, keep every asset possible. Because not only do you have to worry about keeping him, but you have to worry about losing him too. So getting rid of assets just to let go of Ben Simmons because he wants to leave, needless to say, that's not a good decision if you can keep from making it. So, my mind, John Wall gives you the leverage to not offer up any draft picks. If you have to give them to Houston, John Wall is a salary dump. So that's my thing. It's like you can get away with that one without having to do anything. You can just do that head up. It makes sense. But Daryl Morey and the Philadelphia 76ers have a better trade return in mind. So maybe they get lucky and prove me stupid and pull off something big. But as far as I can tell, if they were able to do that, someone on the other side made a mistake. It's not necessarily because they did a great job. No, somebody just caved and gave them too much. I personally think anything outside of John Wall should require the Philadelphia 76ers to give up 2 picks or more just to relieve themselves of Ben Simmons' hefty contract and relieve themselves of the circumstances for which Ben Simmons provided before returning this yesterday morning. So, maybe the gamble paid off. Now that he's coming back into the arena, as far as we know, the information shows us their gamble worked. He's coming back, but I know better. He's not back. He's not back. So, we'll see how it plays out. My name is BDL44, as you guys know. Kind of distracted by my own personal situation. If I seem a little out there. It's because I got what I got going on. But at the same time, I'm still very passionate about basketball. Still have every intention of doing that Houston Rockets video. And I've been talking about it, but I want to get to it. So I appreciate you guys for watching me. My name is BDO44, and I'm out.